Global investors. My name is Cleveland Amancio Haslam, CEO at Max Bugatti International Investment Industries, and this is my first YouTube video ever on this topic. So, this is video one, and I'm going to be talking about my first time investing. So, my first time investing ever into any type of stock market. Like, I was afraid for years, before, like, I was like 20 years old. um I heard about like IRAs and mutual funds, and I think um when I um when I went into the military the first time, one of my sergeants was telling me about different investment programs, and one of them was a mutual fund. So I remember I had a this was years ago, and I had a bank with USAA. So with USAA, they offer the mutual funds, and I remember I was doing pretty good, and then um, when my contract ended, I got out thinking, the world was gonna operate the same as when I was in the military with, um, month to month stability, versus when you're in the civilian world, it doesn't work like that. Like, you gotta have a steady income check coming in monthly. So, I mean, hard lesson. But I'll get more into that later on. I just want to talk about my journey, first time investing. So what I did was, there are other what do you call it, brokerage, investment brokerage companies, E Trade, Merrill Lynch. Uh, yeah, I think those are the two that I could think of off the top of my head. When I go to San Francisco on Tuesday, I'm gonna shoot some videos with the different type of brokerage investments that they have out there. But for me, and this is what I'm gonna get into now. Robinhood. Robinhood it's also here in San Francisco, and they pretty much, you could buy companies anywhere in the world now. Before, they didn't have the servers, and now you could buy like Adidas in Germany, Sony in Japan, um, Alibaba in China, uh, Colombia. You can buy a stock in Colombia. Oh man, it's endless. But I started my journey started on the 4th of January 2008, and I remember first time investing. um, I bought 2 shares of Nike, 2 shares of Sony, and 2 shares of Coca Cola. So I bought it. I knew about these. This is very first time I ever invested, into the market, and I just had to get over my fear. I just got tired. I just got tired of the fear just eating me up year after year. And other YouTubers that I would watch, they would always they wouldn't talk about this subject. So I was kind of like, but why? There's something. There's a concept to it that they're not catching. And I've been watched a lot of like Warren Buffett videos lately, just to dissect his mindset, and I finally understood um, what he was saying, versus like how everybody's more short term, investing in volatility. I mean, I'm not. No, it's just too much. Like, the volatility is so high in that. What a lot of those investors, how they play is by day trading and swing trading. I just buy. Uh, I buy. I buy global companies that will last 3 decades into the future. So, which I buy 1 share of a company, no more than that. But my first ever buying, I bought two, thinking on the concept of how everybody else buys. They put all their money into one company instead of spreading it out. And pretty much, I'm buying companies that's been around since the 1900s until now. So those pretty much, I look at those stats. I look at companies with dividends. I even Oh, okay. This right here is my Max Bugatti International Investment Industries acquisition list. So it starts off. This first one is my highest. which is Lockheed Martin at 305, and it goes down. I'll get into the detail in another video, and all the way down to, oh, okay, no, I passed all the way down to 40 cents. And I remember I bought this, it's Sunworks. Um, okay, with Sunworks, 40 cents. What I do, I never look at this 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, 1 year. I always go to 5 year. I always, anytime I look at anything on a company, I always go to the 5 year. I don't waste my time with any of those because it's just, that's, to me it's confusion. It's gonna go up and down, up and down, up and down, just like how we're programmed, humans. With our emotions, we go up and down, up and down, and a lot of people, that I see like they're trying to, look at like being down as a bad thing, but we go through it. So it's just learning how to manage it is what I'm learning and what I'm seeing now. So I pretty much go down to here. It so pretty much, I usually look at the employees, where it's at out of curiosity. When was it founded is a big thing for me because I know, you know, the the older it is, I know the more solid it is. My concept, this is different way of concept where I'm taking something that Warren Buffett's been trying to preach, and everybody the way they're investing, they invest, for quick gains, and mine is pretty much decades, and it's Max Bugatti's, you know, company. So pretty much, I'm passing this on, to my son, so he can run it and teach him the concept and go like that and play the game of play the rule of 72 game. Um, so okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna talk a little bit um, about my journey. Okay, I started on the 4th of January. Then I remember, check this out, guys. It took me 6 months. Look at, you seeing I'm still in a negative. I just wrote it just to, it was just money. Just I was just like, who cares? I gotta get over this risk. And then when I hit this, I was like, oh, okay, here's something, and this was in the summertime, because during June to May, I'll be in San Francisco going to the university, the Academy of Art University, and then so I'll fly back to South America end of May, and then I'll be in South America 3 months. Um, I have my family out there, and I have my other business that I'm running, so I get 3 months to look at it before I come back here in September. But my journey with this, okay, what happened was, I got a little bump right there, and I was like, ooh, 1.43. I never, the whole time it took me 6 months, and I was just like, oh shit. And then after I was just like, oh man, started going down again. This is my first ride ever on the stock market. So your first year ever, just buy. I recommend buy three stocks that you really believe in, and then just watch it the whole year. Because this is what I'm doing before I even start playing like hardcore. So on June 27th, this was the first day of the bull ride that I took. So this bull ride, check this out, all the way August, September, and then on the 1st of October, fiscal year 2019, for you guys living in the US of A, happened. So I mean, they printed all the money, and then they distributed it to all the departments, and now. I know this for a fact. There's departments because I think they had like FEMA. They had to feed like well, defense is always the first to go, but defense, FEMA, because of the hurricanes that have been happening. So I've noticed like, and Veterans Affair, me being a military veteran, that I see the mark every fiscal year. I always see like if there's a lot of natural disasters, where they have to feed FEMA, Veterans Affairs. What's the other one? Defense is usually first to go, so they're gonna plump that up first before anybody else. Then you got like the pension. Then they plump the pension, but with this, so this is the peak. So you see that bull ride from June to October 1st was where I'm at now, and I gained 10 point 10.90%, and um, what I was doing was just investing. I was buying a company a month, so I was depositing each month. I was just putting in $100. So after that, I mean, this is where I'm at now. That's what I was sitting as at $1,911 So once I hit this is a lot of people, and this is what I think freaks a lot of people out. And I just learned something new, and I'm just like, holy shit. But basically, I don't refer this to as a crash, just because of just the way it sounds. It just sounds like panicky, and right now people right now are selling crazy. The day traders and the swing traders. I mean, even people holding that don't understand, like this is part of like the the stock cycle. So right now it's going into a correction, a real. So this is where we're at today at 1.13. So you see, I went from 10.90% all the way down to 1%. So that's pretty much my first. This was my first bull ride right here, and this was my first bear ride. I mean, you can see a little bear ride, but this is a little. But this is these pretty much. This is what I'm gonna compare my future my future bear and bull rides. First bull ride, first bear ride. So, and then um okay, on this, I'm gonna talk about cryptocurrencies. I'm not invested in cryptocurrencies, but I do believe in the blockchain technology. But as far as like you see Bitcoin, and I think this is Ripple, Stellar. I just look at them just out of curiosity to see how they look. Curiosity for me. And then here's Max Bugatti's stock list. Lockheed Martin, um, McDonald's. This is Visa, Disney, Microsoft, Walmart. This is Waste Management, Nike. I can't remember. I think this is REIT. This is Sony, Coca Cola. This is Taiwan Semiconductor. Let me see. Look at this one. Yeah, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. See, in this one, look, I'm gonna show you a global stock that I own. Well, Max Bugatti owns my company. Its headquarters here in Tashiu, that's in Taiwan. Founded in 1987. See the employees, it's pretty. You see, I see something like that, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, they're going to be here for a while. I just gauged, picking my companies different from a lot of people. And I look at the market cap, I see if it's in the billions, okay. All the other stuff is it's just heavy, heavy fluctuation. So, um, going back to the list, as you can see, their number from this is my highest pay. This is my highest valued company that I own is the 305, and it just goes down from there. And then you can see it go as low as 40 cents. So these companies down here that you see that are like under $5, or yeah, under $5, I purchased those with my dividends. So when I got dividends from Robinhood, I just with those dividends, I just purchased these companies right here under $5 instead of taking it out. So, and just growing by companies. So instead of like a lot of people, they take their dividends and they live off of it, or they do what they do. But I figured, anything I get from here, any dividends, just buy more companies. So, and you see, I just one share, one share. Oh, these two shares were given from Robinhood. When you get somebody to register, they give you a free stock, and the person registering, they get their free stock for the first time. Um, so if you're interested, hit me up. Okay, so I got that. Oh, another thing I want to talk about is the watch list. Okay, this Berkshires, you see where that's sitting at. And these pretty much are my top. It like once I get investment into Max Bugatti. These stocks over here. Okay, I hit. I'm just having a little bit. Okay, that's Charter Communications. See, usually I'm keeping that. This was like at 360, 370. Look how much they're dropping. But oh, okay. Another thing I want to talk about, the red. I love it. I'm starting to understand it. Not panicking, but this is the time to buy companies. They're pretty much like going on discount. So pretty much, I call it the global stock market is painting the market red. So if it's red, that pretty much is for the next painting the stock market red. I will have cash readily available to buy companies on killer discounts. I mean, you see Netflix. Um, I think this is Northrop. This is see these right here. They just I had them all in order, but because of the fluctuations, um, this is AutoZone, Google, Amazon. This is Brooking. I can't Brooking Holdings. See, okay. Now look at this. 1997. Look at the employees, the market cap in billions. Is an online travel company. And then okay, what I do is I go to the look at the 5 year, and I look how it's trending. Huh? Okay. As long as it's going up, look at that. You know, that it's a winner. And then plus you see like where it's sitting at. So if I had that, I would just buy one share of this and let it sit. You know, but going back to my homepage, so pretty much right now, Max Bugatti has 37 global companies. Once Max Bugatti owns 50 global companies, this is something that I'm playing a game with myself, trying to self motivate myself through some type of game, trying to bring that child spirit. I don't because I feel like getting in my age, I kind of you get conformed. So I'm going back to like when I was a kid. My concept of buying global companies is how when I was a kid, I used to collect tops baseball and football cards from the 80s and 90s. I used to collect upper deck basketball cards, 80s and 90s, collecting garbage pail stickers, 80s and 90s. That was pretty much my era in that. And I learned about value, through that concept as a kid. So now what I'm doing is I'm just playing a game with myself, pretty much collecting companies. So every 50 companies that I obtain, um, I convert in, in in my concept. Once I hit 50, I pretty much it becomes a dragon to me. So um, yeah, once I have 50, I have the dragon. So once I hit this first 50, and if I'm looking at this is my first year riding it, so I'm pretty much coming up with strategies as I'm going along. So I think in 2019, um, for the whole since my goal is to hit 50 companies in a year. So if I'm already at 37, I got 13 to go. I feel pretty good about me hitting 50 companies, my first Dragon the first year. So this will be Dragon 2018. So I go for Dragon 2019 next year. So my goal is to get 50, acquire 50 companies next year. You know, so forth and so on until I'm able to move those numbers. But right now, 50 is a good number, and then you can see the fluctuation in price. So it's not all that expensive. It's just one share. Don't pay attention to the ups and downs because it's gonna go through the ups and downs just like how we go through ups and downs. So I wouldn't even look at worry yourself with that. Just let the company, you know, hold everything instead of you. Um, so they grow quicker. Something that I'm learning, and that's it. So while you're slaying dragons, I'll be taming them.